Let's get into the business protection chapter. Due to the increasing number of disruptive innovations and the associated challenges that affect competition, established companies are under enormous pressure. Protection against disruptive competitors is important insofar as it allows established companies to avoid cost-intensive changes in strategy and structural changes. This promotes the focus on the actual core business and leads to the fact that the allocation of resources can be used for measures against disruption in later phases of disruptive innovation. The goal is to maintain the current market position and, in the best case, even to expand it. In order to be able to master these demanding challenges, the established companies must take appropriate measures.
One example of such a measure is the acquisition. To give an overview of this method, its characteristics will be explained with the help of examples. First of all, aspects describing this method will be revealed. Acquisition focuses mainly on two partial aspects of the takeover of disruptive innovations. Another method is the monitoring of potential disruptors in order to be able to plan funds in their takeover in the long term. At first, this sounds like a very radical method, but in a second consideration, it also shows advantages from the perspective of smaller companies of the disruptive innovations, since they can use the financial means, the know-how, or even the infrastructure for the further development of the idea and thus become a part of the established company. From the perspective of established companies, however, it is important to determine the right moment for the takeover and to plan it strategically in order to recognize quickly whether there is an added value from the takeover. The earlier the takeover is executed, the lower the price, but there is a higher risk involved as the disruptive company does not yet have a wide range of market share. This can lead to unsuccessful acquisitions. Conversely, this also means that a later takeover will cause higher costs but minimize the risk due to the first successes of the disruptors. Therefore, it is very important for established companies to prepare the takeover to uncover the best possible time to ensure a good balance between cost and risk. Another major hurdle for established companies are antitrust agencies, as they have a high level of commitment and measures to protect disruptive companies. In this way, they pursue the goal of promoting a high diversity in the market and preventing monopoly positions. In order to best illustrate these facts, this will be demonstrated by means of three well-known examples of successful companies. Apple has taken over Beats for $3 billion, which happens in a relatively late stage of Beats. Also, PayPal has taken over the Braintree service for $800 million, which is in a relatively balance in risk and costs. The last case is Facebook, which has acquired the messenger WhatsApp for $19 billion, which happens in a very late state of WhatsApp.
Another more strategic solution to protect against disruptive innovations can be called prohibitive measure. This involves established companies patenting their products, which are taken up by disruptive innovations as a basic idea for their product strategy. This makes the use or further development of the products of disruptive innovations virtually impossible and illegal. An additional strategic measure is to make access for disruptive innovations to low-end customers more difficult. This goal can be achieved, for example, by means of legal measures such as the protection of intellectual property or copyrights.